Dear students, welcome to the online lecture series of environmental science. Dear students, in the previous lecture, we were discussed about the introduction of water pollution. As you all know, water is having three different properties, that's physical, chemical and biological properties. And if we say about the water pollution simply means any undesirable change in physical, chemical or biological properties of water which results harmful on human beings and other living creatures and the biota living in any particular water body is simply known as water pollution. This was discussed in the previous lecture. Today we are going to discuss about the source of water pollution, or what are the causes of water pollution. There must be reasons how the water gets polluted. As we all know, water is very indispensable source for the survival of every kind of living organism on the surface of the earth. But due to population explosion or increase in human population, we have been deteriorating the quality of water in the name of industrialization, in the name of advancement, just to raise the standard of our service. But in real sense, we are deteriorating the quality of the water by inducing some of the acids, some of the toxic substance, some of this substance which are actually non-basic constituent of the water bodies, which results deterioration of the quality of the water, and in turn results a harmful effect on the human beings and other living organisms. If we discuss about the causes or source of water pollution, we can categorize all type of source or cause of pollutants into two main categories on the basis whether the source of water is exactly identifiable or the source of water is exactly non-identifiable. Means, if we could easily recognize the source of water in any particular area, then we call these are as point source, means identifiable. And if the water pollutant, source of water pollution is from a diffused area or from different sources, the exact location of which we can't identify, then we call these are non-point source. Non-point source of water pollutant simply means, point source of water pollutant simply means these are identifiable. We can easily identify the source of water pollution, what are the causes of water pollution of the particular lake or any other water body. Similarly, if we are receiving the pollutants in the water body, be it lake, be it river or any other water body, but we can't exactly say which are the source of water pollution to the particular water body, be it lake or oceans or any pond or river, then we can call these are diffused source of water pollution. What can be the examples of point source and non-point source? So simple as the effluents coming from the industries. Directly pour the effluents or sewage emitting from any particular industry or discharging from any particular industry into the nearest water bodies, then the source is identifiable or point source of water pollution. And in contrastingly, non-point source or diffused source of water pollutants or the cause of water pollution is that water body is getting polluted, but we can't exactly identify the source of water pollution. And we can cite an example here as agricultural source. Agricultural source or urban or rural wastes which carries too many pollutants of different nature and results the pollution of the water bodies receiving it. Means these are not easily recognized. The agriculture area is extended to a large area. Similarly, the urban or rural areas are extended to a large areas, and receiving the pollutants of different nature from a large extended area. Then we call these are diffused source of water pollution or non-point source of water pollution. Dear student, now we will discuss the source of water pollutant. What are the source of water pollutants which actually results the pollution of water? The source may be a variety of sources. For example, we have water pollution source of domestic sewage, we have industrial effluents, we have agricultural wastes, we have urban and rural wastes, we have thermal wastes, we have radioactive pollutants coming from the sites, and so many other pollutants releasing from different sources. Let us try to have a look on these one by one. Domestic sources, the waste is actually liquid waste is coming out of our houses. And what are these? These may include oils, fats, grit, soapy water, and so grit, etc. Because we actually use soaps in our homes, and while we are also using oil, fats, grease, and so many wastes coming from the house is referred as domestic wastes. And the second one is agricultural pollutants. As the population is already increased, so it becomes the duty of the government to feed every individual. So to feed every individual, what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to increase the productivity of crop, and to increase the productivity of crop, we are using so many fertilizers, and fertilizers are the chemicals which actually increases the productivity of the crops. Like we have NPK fertilizers, we have urea, we have phosphate, we have super phosphate, and so many other fertilizers we are using in our agriculture field. Besides this, we are using also so many pesticides actually to kill the pathogens which actually reduces the productivity of the crops. And these are heptachlor, or these can be methoxychlor, malathion, parathion, and so many other aldrin, dieldrin, etc. So many pesticides we are using in our agriculture field. But what happens after the application of these fertilizers or pesticides on our agriculture field? These make their way towards the nearest water bodies and pollutes the same. Then we have industrial effluents. It depends upon the industry, which industry we are taking as an example. Depending upon the industry, if it is a pharmaceutical industry, medicine manufacturing industry, it may release alkalis, it may release acids, it may release oil, fats, phenols, and so many other chemical substances. And similarly, if it is a dyeing industry, then it may contain the organic substance in the form of oil, fats, and greases. And it depends the industries, which industry we are actually taking as an example of source of water pollutant. Then we have wastes from urban areas, urban and rural wastes. The urban and rural wastes actually is a mixture of different substances. For example, in case of urban areas, if we include so many industries are there, so many factories are there, so many commercial establishments are there. Similarly, if we take the example of the rural areas, the wastes arising from the rural areas maybe the farmyards, cow dung, and so many other wastes. And finally, on reaching such wastes either from the rural or the urban areas, these deteriorate or have detrimental effect on the quality of water. Then we have mines. While mining, as we know, coal is containing sulfur and nitrates. So after mixing of such sulfates on the water, underground water, or on the mixture of or on combination of the rain, it results the formation of sulfuric acid and nitric acid, which insidiously reach in the groundwater and pollutes the groundwater. Then we have source of water pollution as oil spills. There are large and number of ships which actually carry oil from one region to another region, either in the oceans, or so many transportation sector is there to carry oil from one region to another region. And while transportation or while transporting this oil from one region to another region, sometimes the oil gets spilled or oil accidents may occur, which results the addition of oil to the nearest water bodies and results pollution of the water bodies. Then we are using radioactive substance in large numbers in nuclear industries, and the pollutants may release from these nuclear sites, maybe uranium, radium, plutonium, etc., which finally and ultimately results in degrading the quality of water. Then we have thermal pollution. Almost as the industry actually uses water for cooling purposes, but after the usage of that water, industry or the factories releasing that increase it the water with an increased temperature to the nearest water bodies, which results the increase in temperature of the nearest water bodies, which results in the increase in biological oxygen demand in the water bodies, and finally and ultimately results the reduce or decline in the amount of dissolved oxygen in the water bodies. And then earthen septic tanks we have, as we have large number of septic tanks where we are actually which are actually used for collecting the fecal matters originating from our in our house. So these are actually collecting within the surface of the earth, but leakage of these waste is towards the nearest within the ground, actually within the underground nearest water bodies, especially the groundwater, results the addition of nitrates or phosphate into the nearest groundwater bodies, and results the increase in amount of nitrates. And finally, if we are dumping substances like for example electrical appliances, we have computers, we have laptops, or we have so many mobile phones or any other electrical gadgets, we are disposing it of in a particular area, and on dumping sites it gets easily leach into the nearest water body, into the underground water bodies actually, and results the pollution of results the deterioration or results the detrimental effect on the quality of water beneath the surface of the earth. And this was actually some of the source of water pollutants emitting from different sources. So what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to check the source of water pollution, and in fact we can individually contribute our role and responsibility for preventing or contaminating this water pollution, because water is very indispensable source of a valuable source of nature for the survival of every kind of living organism. So try to conserve and protect the quality of water. In the next lecture we will discuss about the consequences of water pollution. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Best of luck.